Next is from Paul Silver, and the subject is, why would you claim credit for this? I not on the latest Talk is Jericho, old Y2J at one point took credit for writing AEW TV shows. My question is, why would anyone want to take credit for that? It's a well-known opinion that AEW is at the worst their creative has ever been, so it makes me think one thing. Jericho's doing this gimmick right now in which he's trolling the AEW fans. Do you think that deep down he's pretending to be behind the terrible TV shows that AEW produce as a way to bring more heat onto himself? And P.S. guys, I know that you guys are enjoying Jericho trolling his haters, but it's really working well that when ratings and ticket sales are so weak. Getting heel heat is one thing, chasing fans away is another, and sadly, Jericho seems to chase fans away. Get on the show for a live shoot, though. If Inside the Ropes can get him, you can too. Shout out Wrestling Soup. Jericho's writing the shows. Look at that. Joe, look that up. See if that's accurate. And
I don't see anything.
Bro,
there's
nobody
no
on the
way
shows
he's writing the shows. Tony's not going to let nobody write the shows. He might be writing his angles and helping one of his boys, but he ain't writing the show. Tony will not give up the steering wheel.
Well, plus the show is so lame right now that nobody can.
Right, there's no way Jericho could be doing that now. The Jericho, if he wrote the stuff with the New York Minute and all that, some have been funny, but I said this before he started the hi guys, because that kind of got over, and I said I can see this getting old real quick if they do it to death, and they did, bro. The first time he did it, he must have been in 4 segments with that, and I was like, bro, you only needed to do 1. But anyways, I don't know what he's writing, because whatever he's doing right now is not that entertaining.
The only 2 big stories for Jericho right now is he says Tony's working on a big ROH streaming deal. And he also says that Britt Baker's not going anywhere. She's an OG and she's staying, and he's looking forward to her coming back.
If you want to make some fantasy picks on your favorite sports, check out Underdog Fantasy. It's all the rage, where you can choose higher or lower between 2 to 8 players, and you can win up to 325 times your entry. Use the code K100 at the Underdog Fantasy website, on the app, or at our personalized link, and you can receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash as well as a free pick. Underdog Fantasy offers a unique approach to fantasy sports, and it's a simple pick-em style format. You can select players you believe will outperform expectations without the complexities of traditional daily fantasy sports. The user-friendly interface and growing community make it easy and fun to play, plus it's available in over 30 U.S. states. We will share our picks for you every week on K100 Sports. You can follow along or play against us. So use the code K100 at UnderdogFantasy.com on the app or at the link included in the show notes and receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick. UnderdogFantasy.com. It's an underdog thing. Next is from Sean from the UK. We've all seen the eternally disastrous MJF Adam Cole angle among many other dreadful storyline executions in AEW history. And it appears that Tony's had all these stories are amazing and should be completely understood and appreciated by the audience. My question is, while you guys have been on numerous booking committees in USA and Mexico, can you recall any angles of storylines that sounded great in your head but were misunderstood or turned out poorly upon execution? Thanks. Oh, yeah, a lot of them. There's just so many, but like you could just – it was kind of weird because – you know, like Vince, when Vince was writing, okay, is he would always try to put everybody in a storyline. And the storylines were always like outside of their wrestling. You know, like he had like, you know, Jim Duggan was a janitor. Mm-hmm. You know, like Chavo was selling Amway. You know, with the Mama Luke's, us and everything. You know, with the, you know, this. It's like all those.
Was with Medusa. He was like
just all those outside the box things. It's like, so it's like you're watching this soap opera stuff back in the back, but it's like it doesn't really like equate to like wrestling. You know, so it's like right TV. So it's like a lot of this stuff was like I don't know. It's just so it was. I wouldn't say it was like confused. Just you misunderstood, but a lot of it was just really absurd, you know. But it was lots of. But even some of the absurd stuff was entertaining. You know, I remember they did a thing one time where Juventud. Okay, so Duggan was what do you call it? Duggan was the janitor. Okay, this is like Vince was like he was a big Curb Your Enthusiasm fan and Seinfeld fan, right? So this was actually very entertaining. I thought this was funny. So they did a spot. Remember when Vince was like the powers that be and you could just see his hands and he was sitting at the desk, right? This is actually pretty funny. So Duggan was a janitor and they showed Duggan like cleaning the toilets backstage with a toothbrush, right? So like later on in the show, they did a spot where Juventud like came to like wanted to like please the powers that be. He gave Vince like a bottle of liquor. And Vince took it and spit it out. He's like, "Oh, this is disgusting. Somebody give me a toothbrush." So he went got the toothbrush that Duggan was using to clean the toilet. So supposedly the powers that be guy would brush his teeth with it, with the thing. That was the old. But bro, it was he was doing like comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like Curb Your Enthusiasm stuff. So it was I don't know. So, but yeah, there's. I mean, the stuff that the one thing of I would say the Vince's stuff was not misunderstood because he told the stories very well because they'll recap, they'll show vignettes, they'll show they'll tell you this. That's the one thing about storytelling. You have to tell the story. AEW, they don't tell the story to the viewer. Unless you're watching every minute of every show, then you're the stories, I guess, because you're watching all the shows. But even when the next show starts, you're still forgetting a lot of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Telling stories means you have to tell the people what's going on. AEW just does not do a good job of that at all. I don't we're looking and go well, what is this? Why is this guy doing that? Who is this guy? The Ring of Honor guys. We're supposed to know who they are. The Japanese guys. That I don't know. You got any comment, Konnan?
Well, at the beginning, it was with the AEW thing, bro. It's just it's almost like Tony books for his ego and the get over with Meltzer. You know what I'm saying?
In that community.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, have you ever heard of this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yes.
What is it, Joe?
I have to look it up, but I've heard of it. It's something to do with crowds, I think.
With what?
Crowds.
No.
Oh no, it's cognitive bias that causes people to overestimate their abilities or knowledge. Oof.
100%.
There you go.
So incompetent people, they tend to overestimate their own skill levels, right? And a lot of times they even fail to recognize the expertise of other people. And so while Tony is booking to see what they say about his booking, okay, and to read about himself and maybe be Booker of the Year, bro, I book for success. I don't book for my ego. I don't book to get over with the hardcore fans. I just book for success, which is what WWE does.
Right.
That's
the one thing.
Go ahead,
well, the one thing Tony has to learn, okay, and he needs to lean on somebody that knows how to do this because obviously a lot of, or maybe they do have guys that know what they're, but he's just not listening. Bro, he does not book heat.
Well, he has been doing it lately, but he doesn't do it right.
Well, just
I think I really believe, bro, that since you, me, Eric, Cornette, and I don't listen to any of these guys, and they're all great. I just don't have time, right? But I always hear people say, "Oh, Bubba Ray agreed with you guys on this," or Eric agreed with you guys on this, or because we're old school. We came from a period where you had to do things right, or the veterans would all over you, or the office wouldn't use you, right? And so,
if you've screwed up a spot in 2 straight matches, you might be off TV for a month.
That's heat.
Right? Yeah, they take you off TV.
Right.
These days, it's they're getting 4 stars.
Right. So I was reading this thing. Let me see if I still have it because I saved it to read it to you. Okay. So Dave Meltzer received these comments from my source regarding young talent in AEW. And he starts it where this is where Tony is at fault. I appreciated the radio show comments on AEW talent needing to work. It's so true, but nobody seems to be able to get through Tony on this end. And it's not entirely on the company. You have to remember the position these guys are in. Yes, Top Flight needs more ring time in front of an actual live crowd, not a couple hundred waiting for a taping to end at 11:45. But these guys are also making well into the 6 figures. They aren't going to hustle for indie work or push Tony about it. Very few indie promoters can afford what the AEW guys want to charge. I get why they don't want to be out there hustling for $250 each when Tony's paying them whether they work or not. It's a perfect type of shows too because it won't be filmed and will be in front of a small, super hot WGS crowd. Whatever happened to that promotion? The type of atmosphere these guys need to be performing in front of, but instead they'll either sit home or work a 3-minute Ring of Honor match in a random city in front of a comatose crowd, maybe their only match of the month. This is where Tony is at fault because Tony needs to be the one telling these guys they need to work. It's part of their job because it's AEW's future here.
Well, this is a good. Well, the funny thing about it is WWE looked at this problem with the elevation of indie guys coming onto the main roster. And bro, there's like you've heard Bully Ray say last week. There's a certain you need to work the WWE style. That's their program. That's their system, right? So what WWE is doing now is instead of taking guys straight off the indies and just throwing them in their school, like, hey, go down the school, or, they're literally taking their talent and integrating them with these other companies, these indie companies, to try to fast track these guys into working a more reasonable style. So working with say for instance a guy like AJ Styles or something goes and works one of these guys in a show, and the guy wants to do a bunch. And they just say, no. We you're telling them they need to start working with these indie guys, saying this is the stuff you don't need to be doing. Because that's the problem with a lot of the indie guys, and you see it on AEW TV. They do a lot you just shouldn't be doing in a match. We'll say the indie style, just do the crazy dives and everybody's doing them and stuff. So I think that's pretty brilliant that the WWE kind of is, they're doing the WWE ID program and working with TNA and just trying seeing the guys that can work that style and fast track them up into their company when it's ready. Because there's a lot of talented guys out there right now, but they work that indie style and they're kind of unfiltered. You don't want them getting hurt, stuff. So did you see that spot that JD McDonough did Monday night, Konnan?
I haven't seen Raw yet.
Pull it up, Joe. The JD McDonough injury. You tell me what was wrong with this, okay?
He's injured?
Yeah, it's unbelievable he actually finished the match. Okay, when you watch this thing and I'm not going to tell you his injuries.
Right.
I want you to watch this and he finished the match, and then I'll tell you what injuries he had.
All right.
About this, somebody's got to check McDonough after that. McDonough's lucky he doesn't have a broken
it's
neck.
Staggered, Joe.
Somebody's got to check McDonough.
Say what?
Go back to the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's choppy.
Yeah, it's choppy.
About this, somebody's got to check McDonough after that. McDonough.
Yeah, it's just
About this, somebody's got to check McDonough after that. McDonough's lucky he doesn't have a broken neck.
Dude, show one more time.
About this, somebody's got to check McDonough after that. McDonough.
Okay. See how hard he hit the table?
Yeah.
Punctured lung and 2 broken ribs. And he went up after and finished the match.
Yeah, because he's in on adrenaline.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It must have hurt when he got to the back.
I'm watching that, and I'm like, dude, I tweeted, dude, you got to be a little bit more precise with your risk assessment. That could easily have gone wrong like that, where he hit his back.
Well, it did go wrong.
Bro, that was
but it did go wrong.
That's what I'm saying. And the whole thing was, if you were talking about doing that spot with the guy, okay, the thing is hey, what if you don't catch me? Right. Or don't catch me right. It's I'm sliding my back into the table. It's
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Everybody's going to risk, especially when you're young, to be noticed and to stay on the card, right? You know, you don't see older guys doing that.
Right. How old is JD McDonough, Joe?
Because they know better. Yeah, but JD's trying to keep his spot, bro.
Right.
He's not a star. Right. So he's out there, he's
taking the big bumps and stuff, right?
Right. And so he goes out there and he does this, and I guarantee you he may never do that again. And there's probably guys that are watching that and going, wow, if I do that, I'm definitely not going to do it to the side where the announcer's table is. Right? But, that's the risk you take. And
I'm going to do it with a guy that knows how to base.
Yeah, right. But is there anybody that you could place the blame on for that?
Not really, bro. Let me tell you something. This is the problem with moves like that. In theory, they look, okay, just go up, I'll catch you. But, bro, when you're doing that big of a dive, where you're springboarding up into the air moonsault, you're 190 pounds, you're kind of coming down on somebody. It's not like with the plancha, the guy is coming at you straight. You can break your fall.
Who was the guy catching him?
One of the one of the War Raiders,
Yeah, who usually is a very good base. They wrestled in Tijuana when I was there, and they were great. But sometimes the guy just comes over quicker than you think, and not where you're standing. And we have right now the ability of watching it in slow motion. I mean, boom, it happens like that. But
it's like when you're third base and you have line drive, how much time do you have? It's the guys. It's not slow motion in real life. It's the guy's coming. It's
I always tell people that either get a really, really good base, and if you don't know who it is, find out in the dressing room. If you're wrestling somebody, ask other guys, hey, is he a good base or not? And if he isn't known for being a good base, have two guys catch you.
Right.
If you're in a one-on-one, it's hard to do. But in
Right.
Mexico, since most of our matches are like 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and even when you have a one-on-one, they usually have a second,
Right.
like a guy in their corner. So you can do dives on two people in just about every match in AAA.
Yeah. And most guys are undersized too. And the bigger guys are the big, like,
Right.
like who just say the Toros or the Mortis was like a good
Right.
base. Like,
Right.
yeah. So,
Excellent base.
But he looks like he's like a stocky,
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.